Hello everybody and welcome back to the next Transformers Studio Series video. And in this video, I am going to do a review of our Studio Series number 55 Leader Class Constructicon Scavenger. Now, before we begin our transformation and everything, I'm just going to tell you the contents of this video. We are going to check out all of Scavenger's body parts, talk about him. We're going to compare him with some Leader, Voyager classes, and some Deluxes. After that, we're also going to compare him with Studio Series number 69, the Devastator box set figure, the action figure, for the whole Devastator figure. We're going to compare him to Devastator, and after that, we're going to transform him from robot to car, and then car back to robot. So let's get started. So we can see that Scavenger is pretty much movie accurate as he can get. Now, he is actually one of my favorite Constructicons, but I did not find any flaws on him or anything. But one thing that I would have made this figure even more worth it if it did come with some upgrades on it. Now these little holes right here are actually part of the upgrade kit DNA design DK20, which applies to all the Constructicons, including Devastator. It applies to all of them. Now these little slots pushing the doors and stuff like that go on Devastator's neck and stuff. But we're not talking about the upgrade kit right now. We're talking about Scavenger. But that's what those little holes were for. Now, he did come with one accessory, which is this thing, which I'm not so sure why it's an accessory. It should have just stayed connected to him in the box. I don't get why Hasbro didn't think of that. But it's actually for the bottom part of Devastator, and also for the top part of his vehicle mode. Now we can see that the back is pretty cool and everything. Not as cool as the front, but the side's nice. Although I would really appreciate if the arms were a little bit thicker, and it would have made this figure even more worth it. Okay, so now we have Scavenger in his already robot form and everything, and even one cool thing is that his wheel even moves. Like if you do want to make a stop motion, you can make it look like the wheel is moving and stuff like that. You can make it look like that. Create the scene from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, where Optimus Prime does take down Scavenger in the beginning of the movie. And I really do like it. And if you are picking this figure up at the store, he's not rare. You can find him, but also depends where you live and when you can find him. Right now in 2021, I'm not so sure if you could find him that much, but last year in 2020, you could find him a lot. So and I do recommend getting him online if you can't find him in the store anymore. He is about $50. If you find him at a cheaper price, that's even better. But just make sure about the shipping and the tax and everything, so it won't be overpriced. Okay, so now let's compare Scavenger with a Leader class. Well, Optimus Prime combined with Jetfire isn't really a Leader class, more of a combiner. But we can, if you do have Optimus Prime and Jetfire already combined, we can clearly see the height of Optimus Prime and Scavenger connected. Although we can see the Optimus Prime is about 6.5 inches and Scavenger's 8.5 inches. Actually, in the movie, Optimus Prime is about half his size. He would be the size of a deluxe class. So one thing that Hasbro actually did mess up is that making Scavenger really small. They could have made him at least a bigger size, which would actually make Devastator bigger, but it would have been better. Like for example, Jetfire is way bigger than every other Transformer except Devastator, and he had a bigger box. So they could have thought of that, because Jetfire was a figure before Scavenger. They could have thought of making Scavenger bigger as well as the box, but I do not understand why Hasbro did not think of that. But I really do hope that they could make Demolisher, which is a similar Transformer towards Scavenger, which is the exact same thing, but except that he's more white and gray while this version is red. I really hope if they make a Demolisher figure that they could actually make him bigger. I really hope that they do that. Okay, so now we saw the size of Optimus Prime, and Optimus Prime mixes connected with Jetfire to Scavenger. Now let's see another leader class, such as Studio Series number 66, Overload. Now Overload is actually the same price. I got him for $30 at Target. At Target, Overload is $30. Even though you check on the price thing that it says that it's $50. Tell them to check online, and then it's about $30. So if you want to save at least a good $20 extra, I recommend that you tell them that it's $30, which is the truth, and it's actually pretty worth it because he's actually a little bit smaller than Scavenger. Like, they're around the same height, but this guy is a little bit small, just a tiny little bit. Now, as we were comparing, let's compare him with some other Revenge of the Fallen figures, such as Studio Series number 53, Voyager Class Mixmaster. Now we can see that the Mixmaster is actually like a little, like around the size of him, only like a few more inches, and then he would be the size. And Scavenger and Mixmaster do connect to each other for the Devastator combine. And later I am also going to do a video of how to combine Scavenger and Mixmaster. Okay, now we were into these Revenge of the Fallen figures. Now, if you do have 74, which is actually kind of hard to find, but I don't know if it's confirmed that they are giving 74 regular Studio Series box, but I got the Buzzworthy box, which is like most, like, it has a G1 version picture of Bumblebee instead of the Studio Series picture, but still it's good. This is the Buzzworthy Studio Series number 74 Bumblebee. Now we can see the size is actually like half the size of Scavenger. And we can see that if he stood him like this, you can see that his head makes it up to like his nose right here. Okay, so now let's compare him with an even a little bit smaller figure, Studio Series 40 Deluxe Class Shatter. Now we can see Shatter like the same way Bumblebee reaches like right here. But just one thing, if you are getting this figure, I don't know if she's hard to find, but I recommend it. But just one thing, that all the limbs are loose, like, because this is how the figure is made. But better is expected from Hasbro, and better it was expected, and better came. So Studio Series number 59 is actually better than this version of Shatter, which I will do a video about later. But if you do have this figure, you can see the size of Scavenger from this figure. Now, if you are interested in getting Scavenger, you could pick him up at Target, Walmart, or you could get him online on Amazon, Hasbro Pulse. I'm not so sure if Target's selling him online anymore, or well, Walmart is selling him online, but some prices are not good, some prices are good. You have to be careful what prices you get for Walmart. Okay, so now let's measure his size to a very big Transformer, Studio Series number 69. Well, he's not a Titan class, but Devastator. Now we can see that Devastator is incredibly huge toward how Scavenger's height is. We can clearly see that the top wheel barely makes it to Overload's head right there. And I do recommend, if you already purchased all the Constructicons, I do recommend if you purchase this guy, because the difference is the paint apps and everything. But if you don't, it's okay. If you haven't purchased any Constructicons at all, I recommend this guy. He's only about $250. Amazon put him at $270, which is pretty much a ripoff. Plus the tax and shipping will be like at least $300 something. So I do recommend you pick up this figure. I recommend that you pick him up at Amazon, like you order it on Amazon, and it'll be better than ordering it on. I recommend you order it on Hasbro Pulse, not Amazon. Amazon is a little bit more expensive, while Hasbro Pulse is actually a little bit cheaper. Okay, so now let's start to transform Studio Series number 55, leader class, what's his name? Constructicon Scavenger. Okay, so now let's transform him like I said earlier, like a few seconds ago. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is remove these little things right here. Do the same right here. Make sure that they stick out like this so that it could be easier. After that, flip this wheel about all like flip it around. Okay, after that, it's pretty simple to transform. You just have to separate this wheel. Just separate it like that. And then flip this over like this. And then these two tabs on the main big wheel go into these little slots on this little smaller wheel right here. You connect it in. Now this part of the big wheel opens up. It opens up like this right here. Okay, so right before you continue, make sure that this little red things that I disconnected earlier are pushed that way. Make sure that they are pushed that way. Okay, so now you put it in the slots like I said a few seconds ago. And then there's this little slot and this little tab that connects right here. You connect it and then just push it in right there. And then like that. And then after that you unfold this part so that it could be like that. And then you do the same process to the other wheel. And make sure that it's evenly matched and everything, that it's flat, so that it can be so that it can transform perfectly. Because if you try to transform it another way, everything's gonna collapse and everything. Okay, so now you unfold right here, and then right there. Now this part is flat. Okay, so now you got the middle and the bottom done. Now you have to unfold this part of his shoulder, like that. Now this little part which is like a window, you make sure it's tipped up like that, so that it won't get in the way. After that, unfold his arm like this. Then make sure that this looks like this now. Like it connects perfectly. Now about this little window, you slide it like this. Then like that. Now one little thing that I did have trouble with is connecting both of his arms. That's all. Other than that, he gave me no trouble at all. This figure is actually is worth it. But I do recommend you, like I said earlier, buy it on Hasbro Pulse. If it's out of stock on Hasbro Pulse, then your last option, instead of buying it on Amazon or another website, your last option should be in store, or if it's not in store, try eBay. That's the last option. Okay, so now you connect both arms like this, and then you have this part of the bottom done. Now this little tab that is sticking out, make sure it pushes in like that. Now these parts you unfold like that. Make sure that they go like this. Put them down like that. Make sure that this little curved part goes in this like circle part of his body. And there you have created Studio Series number 55, Leader Class Constructicon Scavenger in his vehicle form. Okay, so now we saw how he looks like in his vehicle form. Okay, so now let's transform him back into a robot. After that, we will conclude our video. Okay, so you separate this part of you separate both of his arms. So make sure that the whole body goes like that. Make sure that it closes in like that. Same to this side. Make sure that it separates like that. Then this arm, you have to wait for a click. And then it makes this noise. You have to wait, like, first you, okay. So you make sure that it looks like this. Then you push it down. There, you heard that click that I was talking about? You push it in like that. Okay, so the same process is for you do to the other arm. There. Okay. So now you separate the two little wheels, and then make sure that this wheel is back to 1. And make sure that the two little wheels are actually below his head, in which like it could transform. Now this part, which was once the bottom part of the excavator mode, you fold in like that. Then the same thing for that one. And then make sure that this part, the gray part, actually goes in this little black area. The same thing for that one. You click it, and then there. Now this thing, you have to make sure it goes like that. Now the same thing for the second arm. You do this, and then you do this. Okay. So now you have Scavenger ready in his robot form. Except for one little final baby step is that he needs to be connected to right here. These little tabs that were once right there. Make sure that they're out like that. Okay. So now we see his wheel. We flip his wheel like that. And then you make sure that these little tabs click in with that wheel right there. And there. And then you push that in right there. And there. You have Studio Series number 55, Leader Class, Constructicon Scavenger. Now, I really do hope you enjoyed this video of how to transform Scavenger, what my thoughts are about him. But one thing that that would have made this figure even better is that if he came with some of the parts that come in the upgrade kit, the DK design number 20 for the Devastator figure. But if he did come with those accessories, it would have made this figure even more worth it. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment. I will see you at our next Transformers Studio Series video. Goodbye.